mornings just got better at WingsRings Texas 83. We're serving up delicious breakfast and lunch options to fit your day. Fresh, made to order, and packed with flavor. From fluffy pancakes and crispy bacons to juicy burgers and loaded fries, there's something for everyone.
Hands up if you're down to get down tonight.
Join us today at WingsRings Texas 83 and taste the best part of your day.
All my clothes like I didn't care.
T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí, que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que hablan de mí, que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Digo a mi manera, nadie me controla y por nadie yo voy a cambiar. Me gusta la calle, pero todo el dinero vacío y no paro de rumbear. Pero nadie me mueve sin a mí. Pa' eso luché, lo sudé y me jodí. De dónde lo saqué y en qué lo gasté. ¿Qué carajo te importa eso a ti? Que rumbeando y viajando siempre disfrutando de esta vida corta que se está acabando. Los buenos momentos son los recuerdos con lo que te va a quedar. Porque nada de lo material cuando te mueras te va a llevar. Siempre van a hablar, pero no importa. La gente siempre va a hablar. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí, que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Tú no crees que yo sé que tú hablas de mí, que me envidia y tiene lo malo para mí. Que digan lo que quieran de mí. Mambo, Chinchenia.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to episode number 2 of Aqui Entre Nos, season number 3. We're all the way in the city of Peñitas. I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsors for today, WingsRings Texas 83. If you have not made it out here to check out the vicinity, what they have to offer, their amenities, the environment, get out here and bring your family to try the entire bar section because it's the total vibe. And then, of course, have some waffles and chicken and waffles.
You got what, $3 margarita?
Yeah, $3 margaritas, and it's my
delicious.
third one, and I already feel it, so I know they're good.
Hey,
They have a heavy
the
quarter.
smell, bro. The smell since I entered, I was like,
It's wings, man.
yeah, wings.
I haven't had wings
Yeah.
forever.
Wings. Is that what it sounds like?
Yeah, wings.
That's awesome, dude.
Wings.
Well, as you guys know, we are here with some of the cast because some of the cast is missing. Stayed over at a mixer, mingling and networking, so we continue becoming better and stronger every single day. We're gonna go ahead and pass the microphone over to Lorena, as she will discuss one of the most saddest stories that I thought myself I had already healed from my
Yes.
first heartbreak ever. And 2 days ago, I spoke to Lorena. I was like, you know what? I'm real vergas, right? I'm gonna fucking say whatever happened to me.
Where's the
And guess what? I was in tears with her still, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say my story because I'm still hurting from it. I don't know, like 2 decades later, it still hurts. But go ahead, take it away, my friend.
Okay. I don't know if I'm going to say the story yet. I think we need to identify when we talk about heartbreak, because before the episode started, a lot of us were talking about different kinds of heartbreaks. So I guess what kind of heartbreaks do you want us to talk about?
Well,
Love.
All of it? Love.
I think there's different
And
heartbreak.
daddy issues. My first heartbreak was my dad when he
That's one. Or there's one.
that because there's dog.
mis traumas, mis
There
chistes,
is-
mis traumas, mis chistes.
There's parental as well. Because like if I look back to when my first heartbreak was I was 18 because of my dad when my father passed away. That was definitely excruciating. And that I carried for 20 years, and then my mom passed away. I shouldn't laugh, but it's the tequila. And so then it was like 5 years of that. But my first heartbreak, romantic loss was definitely when I was 25. I was a 25-year-old. I don't know if I want to say the whole story.
Say it, friend.
Give
We're
us
here
clip
for you.
notes.
You're
We
not
have
alone.
10 hours like y'all's conversations here, right?
Yeah, so Joe and I talked.
I'll never call you Joshua.
I know.
5 minutes max. For
And the point is,
I forgot.
man, the climax of the story. My audio is my podcast.
90 seconds.
The
TikTok version?
TikTok version.
Okay, let me see if I can do a TikTok version. Because wait, am I speaking right? No,
Yeah.
let's see. I was engaged with this person. I met him when I think I was like 21, 22 when I met him. He was older, not old, but he was older for me because he was in his early 30s and I was in my early 20s. So for me, that was super old. But when you turn 44, 30 isn't really old at all for nothing. Gosh, I don't know. Like the relationship was great. Like he wasn't abusive. He wasn't possessive. He wasn't jealous. I didn't have any issues. I think the biggest issue that we had when I broke off the engagement with him was he just wasn't ready. And I don't think we had that conversation and he realized that he wasn't ready, but he didn't want to lose the relationship. So then what we agreed to was, let's not get married, but let's continue with the relationship. But that relationship was just really, really rocky.
Was it awkward after that?
It wasn't awkward.
Okay.
No, not at all. It wasn't awkward. I trusted him completely. No.
Did he ever give you like signals of like him being, going around?
No, but let me tell you how
I
I
think the
met
blood tells us what's up.
No, I met him. I met him in Austin. So we have a mutual friend, and my friend had moved from the Valley to Austin. So I went to go spend a whole week with my friend Pablo, and I probably shouldn't have said my friend's name, but
I know. He said, Pablo,
Shout out.
If you're watching Pablo, you rock, bro.
And is Pablo cute?
Is he cute? Yeah, Pablo was cute. I'm not gonna say anything. He's a married man.
So he's doable.
So what?
Oh no, he's not. Never mind. Go proceed, please.
Delete that. No.
This is live, by the way.
It wasn't like that. He was really my best friend. Jesus. It wasn't like that at all. Like I saw him like my friend. I saw him like a brother. I didn't see him sexually at all or romantically at all. But anyways, I went, and then one day he's like, hey, my friend is coming, and whatever. I said, that's fine. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. There was just a bunch of us. This was a bunch of 20-something-year-olds in this 3-bedroom home.
An orgy.
No,
Really though.
No.
Gacho.
God.
Put up.
Winning the anxiety.
I don't know if it's gonna get
Nobody's gonna snow me. Fire and ice. Fire and ice. The smell of the room, bro. I
They
can't
ended
wait.
up playing Monopoly and went to bed.
Oh.
Okay.
we played bingo.
Oh, hey, bingo.
Bingo.
So after the end of this, we don't take anything fucking serious, guys.
See, this
So after
Heartbreak here, man.
So going back to your question is after we met, it took us 2 weeks to talk, but after things got serious, he goes, okay, I didn't want to tell you, but I'm going to tell you where I was before I met you. And I was like, okay, because he was in a trip in Laredo, right? And I was like, okay, well, he was in a trip in Laredo because he was fucking somebody.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, las cariñosas. 1500. El vato.
Yeah, I don't care what he did before
then
me.
why was he
It's none of my
telling you
business. Because he wanted to be honest. I don't know.
What do you mean, like before you,
Before
or
you-
before like you that day, like instant, like he
He
drove from?
had sex with the girl, and then the following day he met me.
Oh, but
But the following day, I know people that like the next hour.
it didn't happen within your era. It doesn't count.
Did he even take a shower? Did he even shower? That's the real question. Did he even shower?
What ethnicity is him? Is he?
He's Hispanic.
He is.
Oh, he didn't shower for sure.
Layla, how is this relevant?
No,
He did shout.
He didn't shower.
no.
But I thought it was an African
Okay,
American.
so
Sorry.
Layla, last Friday, Layla and I spent like
A whole day.
30 hours at the Oak.
Oh,
Charged us rent.
witness. I saw that.
Charged us rent
He charged us rent
by the hour.
by the minute. He's like, this bitches viejas nunca se fueron.
Al chile está como que.
Like, he kept walking back and forth, and I was like, do you need us to leave? He's like, no.
I took out the broom and the stupid box.
They never got the.
No, they never did, bro.
Like, everybody was
But we
leaving.
discussed this theme prior
Okay,
to.
so here's the thing. Layla and I spoke hours about pretty much our past. And so she met a guy that I dated when I went to go visit my sister because she used to work with my sister. And he
Is that
was a
the
black
African
man.
American?
Yes.
That guy.
And we don't call him African American. we
black.
call him Black man.
Black man.
I thought black was bad.
Yeah, I thought you said Pac-Man.
That sounds very erotic to me.
Or what?
But
I don't want to.
From my origin.
sounds like a good time. I don't know.
Yeah. And in my town,
He was a
we
good
call it a good time.
so I'm
I-
confused.
I will say that
Sylvester Stallone.
every ethnicity has been different as far as their passion and how they have sex and even how they love. It's been different.
Well, how many different ethnicities have you dated?
Yeah, that's a great question. I do want to know that. Let's go.
No, no más dos.
Just who?
En mi opinión, no hay como un hombre
Guy
macho,
was from Jordan.
así buchón.
Macho, alfa, pelo en pecho,
que me la pongo
barbita.
cigarro, like he smokes.
No, eso
Like,
no.
with tattoos,
No.
wears cologne,
Like,
ski.
que es como a 1 million como con arcas o si no, así como 212 and then
No me des enamorado de exnovios porque se ponen tatuajes. Se los agradezco por ponerse tatuajes porque a mí no me gustan.
No.
que tenga el diente así como que bien amarillo, que
asco,
apeste a cigarro, güey. Que cuando te hable, güey, salte como tabaco, güey, así de la casa, güey.
¡Qué asco!
That sounds like Bronco 956.
De verdad.
About a heartbreak. I just want to say, we're talking about a heartbreak.
So, how did this motherfucker hurt you?
Hi. Okay, so the day that we broke up is because he was being unfaithful, and I found out.
Say it again. I
He
couldn't
was
hear you.
being unfaithful, and I found out.
Oh.
We were it was a it
Oh,
was
there we
Christmas
go.
Eve.
Jab, I was trying to get there.
Yeah, it was Christmas Eve, and we
now-
spent it with my family.
Well.
Definitely, you could tell that there was something there. So on our drive to his parents' house, I was like, "What's wrong? Nothing's wrong." And then he got a phone call, and he ignored it. And so I was like, "Oh,
Dun, dun,
Big
dun.
red flag.
yes." I was like, "This asshole cheated on me, no doubt." And so the person called again, like 2 minutes later, and he ignored it again. And I was like, "If you need to get it, like get it. Like we can argue after you finish."
A la madre, ya sabía.
You're
He's
done.
Like, no, it's okay. And he put the phone. He goes, "Look, it's not important. I'm gonna put it in the back. I have long arms, and I'm a Virgo." So I was like, grabbed it, put it on his leg, and I was like, "Answer it." And
Wrong
then-
lady.
because this was the third time that this person was calling.
A la madre.
Very persistent.
Side chick was desperate.
She wanted
He probably had a good dick.
So then,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna ignore that comment. So then, what I said was, you either answer it or I answer it. So who do you want this?
Oh, la.
And
I
so-
thought it was like, I'm gonna jump off the car if you don't answer type of deal.
No,
No.
no.
Hey,
Elena's
damn.
not like that. I'm like that, but she's not like that.
I'm not toxic. You have your choices. You're an adult. And he's like, "Don't do this." And I was like, "No, you did this to us. Now be a man, follow through."
Love it.
Oh.
Love it.
And so by the time that
Serious,
we got
getting
to
serious.
his parents' house, he did answer the phone, and he was like, "I'm busy." And I don't know what the girl was saying. And I was really pissed. And I was really what I was doing. I was like, "Don't cry in front of him. Don't cry in front of him. He's not worth it. Don't go crazy. You can't afford
How
to
long
go
were
to
we all
jail."
together?
We were together for 4 years, and we were engaged for like 6 months.
You were engaged?
Oh, damn.
And so then he finally did say, like, "My girlfriend's here. She just found out. She's pissed. I'm busy." And then he hung up and turned off the phone. And so then I was like, we're done.
I don't know where you are in life.
Fine. I do want to know at least like the next minute after that happened. If you
What happened?
Like
Care to elaborate?
what happened?
I just said it. We're done.
No. What happened?
But how did you tell him? How did he
Did
take
you
it?
fight? Did you
Like did you punch him in
I-
the throat?
Like,
I
Poke
said,
his eye,
we're done.
and
Got
then
out and left.
Well, his mom was coming towards the car.
Oh, so
And so then we got
smiled
off.
and waved.
Yeah, and I was like,
But
we'll
you still
do it.
had to go through the
Yes.
weekend.
oh
yes.
damn.
Still went.
Yes.
That's what I meant by like what happened the next minute.
Yes, we were in his car. We're going to his parents, and so dude, there was no Uber in the early 2000s. No, ni había taxi aquí.
You could have called my
And so-
tío. He would have gone. That
and so
motherfucker
I
doesn't care.
said- No, so I said we'll deal with this. We'll deal with this later because his mom was coming, and so then his mom definitely saw my face. Like anybody who knows me by face tells you what I'm going through. So his mom pulled me to
Virgo.
the side. Yes. So when my mom pulled me to the side, she's like, "Is everything okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, everything's okay." She's like,
You're lying.
"Uh-huh." And so then she's like, "A los hombres todos se le perdonan menos una infidelidad." And then I was
Oh.
like, and I started
I'm
crying.
glad that she told you that because my aunt says like, oh, an infidelity is okay, but if they have a relationship, I'm
¿Que el
like,
otro tiene feria?
what?
Así, mija.
A mí me dijo una
Well,
tía eso de que
So,
tú
no,
las
mira,
infidelidades
No, I
se
don't think so.
perdonan
I am not
porque
a
son.
woman, and I had to learn that the hard way. And it was because of a guy. You see, every lesson I've learned because of some stupid guy. Well, after that, what I did, if people want to know what well, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. At that time, I thought, and this is the part where I did tell Joe, and I told him, I don't know if I'm going to say this part just because it's really embarrassing for me, and it shouldn't be embarrassing for me because I had nothing to do with it. Like, right? At that time, we thought we were pregnant. My pregnancy tests were, some of them were positive, some of them were negative. I really didn't know. I had gone through the doctor, gotten checked, and we did the blood work. And so at that time, like after we broke up or whatever, um, I did tell him, I'm like, I'll let you know, right? Whatever the results are, one way or the other, right? And then he's like, don't bother.
What?
He's like, don't bother. And he's like, I don't need to know. He's like, if you are, that's on you. If you're not, that's perfect. And so, and I had told Joe, like, at that moment, I realized like my self respect is more important than my feelings. And I was like, fuck you. And I really thought that I was pregnant. So I was like, no, my child now needs me. I can't fall apart. I wasn't pregnant, obviously, because I don't have kids, but he didn't know one way or the I never told him one way or the other because he didn't want to know.
Isn't it
Wherever
That-
you
is
are
it-
in
is it-
life right now, I hope you're not good.
Could have it. Well, no, he probably kept up with you, so he knows, right?
No,
Like, so
No,
if you were,
we
he
didn't
wouldn't know.
talk.
Like, she could have a kid right now from him, and he wouldn't know.
he wouldn't know.
Like, what?
Damn.
You
It's
better-
it's crazy how you can go from like knowing someone's like lunar eclipse that they have over there to like I hate you.
La
You're
neta, güey, que te
disgusting.
lleve la chingada y espero que te
chile.
dé. Sí, dale. No es cierto.
No,
Pero sí.
what was I gonna say?
You know
So I learned,
everything.
No, so I learned from there. I learned never to rely on a man, and with him, I learned not to be a kept woman either, because
Oh,
see what he
homegirl,
does.
I could tell you all about this shit.
no, yes, because he. I remember that something happened. His friend went through a divorce, and I think the ex-wife like took everything. And so he, in the conversation with that his friend or whatever, he's like, "I'll never tell you how much I earn." And I was like, "I don't care how much you earn, right?" So that I get it. I understand.
Your $20 are saved, dude. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, not that big of a deal.
I
At that time, I
smuggle people.
yeah,
Maybe.
yes, that's what I was doing.
No, him.
In Sullivan.
No,
So you know that's what I was doing. And then
in Sullivan.
he was going to he was trying to get a promotion, so he had to take some kind of an exam, and so I helped him through the exam, helped him study, did all the girlfriend shit. And then we weeks later we went to a barbecue to his friend's house, and one of his male friends was like, "Hey, I heard you got the promotion. How much are you earning now?" And so I was just like, he fucking got a promotion and didn't tell me. Like he fucking passed the test and didn't tell me. Like the test that I fucking helped him study for. And I didn't say anything because I won't say anything in front of people. Like I'm not gonna make a fool in front of people.
A circo.
Uh-huh. No,
I
I'm
was
not.
fine of those. They're super fun.
No, not for me. I don't like that shit. And so I didn't say anything. But then when his friend asked him, like, how much, like, cuánto te montaron, right? Like, how much is the promotion? Like, he was making him eye signals, kind of like, don't ask me in front of her.
Like that right there.
Yeah, like,
Oh no.
yeah. And so then,
No, I'm in for real.
so yeah, I
Damn.
didn't say anything, right? I didn't say anything. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking, me las voy a tragar, ni modo.
Oh.
And then,
Wait. Oh, wait. What are we talking about again?
Dios mío, Edgar. Trae chingo de hambre tu compadre acá.
Yo también me las trago.
didn't you just eat
I
before you
second
got
that
here?
motion, dice Joe.
Motion passes.
I don't know, but
Was he lying?
No, oh my god.
Okay, so
Anyways, okay.
proceed.
When we were driving home, he's like, you look visibly upset. I was like,
I'm infuriated, motherfucker.
why didn't you say
Lorena
anything?
acá muriéndose una teta y la chingada.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
And that right no, like at that moment I was like, I will never be a kept woman. I will make my money. I will never have a man ever give me money.
Isn't it awesome what pain does to us, guys? Isn't it
Yes.
awesome?
Yes.
You need pain.
But wait, so did you suffer from this? Did it hurt you for a long time?
It hurt me for
Really hurt.
a really
Right off.
long time.
How many years?
Honestly,
Her hatred's rubbing off on me. I'm pissed right now. Fuck y'all.
Here,
get
bite your
the
tit.
fuck out.
I mean,
Oh my God.
just bite it, bro. Bite it. I mean, cheers, cuz. Come on, you got some pick in there. Just bite the nipple, and that's it. Anger goes away.
When you bite the nipple,
That's what she said.
your own nipple or something?
Yeah, that's what. Or maybe.
Eso
Hey,
es
that's
como drama. Nunca viste la hora pico
Dude,
donde las
that,
cocinas se
actually, I'm
mordían
gonna try that tomorrow. Anyways,
Test it out right now.
But there's pleasure in pain. Pleasure and pain intertwined. So I mean, biting the nipple is
You know, I've
Make-
heard of some freaky stories. P. Diddy.
hola.
Ay, no.
jelly.
So,
Qué feo.
Diddy scandals.
the Diddy scandals. There was a movie released about that. Did y'all watch it already?
No,
Yeah.
no, no lo he visto.
I watched documentary.
Oh,
The-
what? I love. I would love.
Hold on.
What the hell was going on? It was one of those 40 something.
Lorena.
Video was going and apparently it's about a girl. There's a girl in between, like Serena.
Really?
I don't know. I'm
What do you
asking.
mean there's a girl between
I don't
Serena?
know. Serena.
What are you
was
talking
I
about?
don't know.
¿Qué pasó?
The crib walk again.
They had a little documentary on it on some. I don't
Serena
know.
Williams dated Drake. What?
I don't know,
Oh.
but it was having to do with Drake and it had to do with Kendrick. I didn't even know who these people were. Mind you, I don't know who Kendrick or Drake.
That's when you know we're old.
That's how you know you.
Boomers.
We only know like this is the story, but not the entire story.
I'm young and I didn't know who they are either.
Well,
You're not young, man.
we have an idea how heartbreak.
Same age. What are you talking about?
I'm 21. I'm 21.
32. I'm 32. You're.
I'm 21.
He
But
just
you're
told me
still
that.
older. You're still older.
He
than
just
him.
told me that he was born on the 92.
Don't be hating on these.
So you're 31,
I'm 32.
and he's 32.
We're both 32.
How many people have you slept with?
A lot.
And him?
I don't know how many people have you slept with.
No,
Neither of you know how many you slept with.
nah.
That's wonderful.
A lot of
Fantastic.
people. A lot of
I slept
people.
with anybody.
Like just one.
A lot of people.
Okay, so what about?
I can't
so
give a number
what
because
about you
my
guys?
husband's watching, but yeah.
Well, what about you guys?
So I plead the fifth.
But if you
sir.
if you cover the
I
mic,
plead-
we can hear you. Just so you know.
Edgar, yeah, Edgar. I plead the fifth.
I play the fifth.
Leila,
You fifth?
how many gentlemen? Oh, we plead the fifth. Never mind.
Yeah.
No.
She's like before Adrian.
Just Adrian.
Josh, do you also plead the fifth?
Well,
his wife.
back in my day.
And yours. This story already went
You
like.
don't want to hear my sex
Esa
stories.
historia ya se contó.
Let's talk about you.
No, Joshua, everyone deserves a legit sex story.
Back in the 1900s.
It was all about having kids.
You keep count?
I kind of lost it at 3,000. I was like,
People out there. Wait, hold on. There are people out there that actually have a diary of the
Okay.
people that they've slept with.
You
And
sound like one of those people.
I wish.
I'm one of those people.
I really wish I did, but I
She's like,
mean,
it's in my TikTok life.
Is it
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble?
Does
We
college
did it.
count?
My
book is coming out. I'm just kidding. No, I wish. but
College
no.
was a blur,
Wait.
bro.
Is it a play-by-play? Like, okay, so Manzanita and I read smut all the time.
Yes, we love it.
Smut.
Like dirty books.
It's like porn, but in books.
Yeah.
Okay.
with romance.
Well,
You read?
Yeah.
I don't know about
Like-
reading.
It's like
Like-
reading porn, but like there's a romance, there's a story.
I also used to read porn. It was
There's
vaqueros.
feeling in-
They were. Yeah.
My abuelito used to read to me,
Pero
güey.
el restaurante
Cállate,
año para año, puro vaquero, bro.
El
Caen encima
vato.
de grandpa. El vato.
Ay,
No,
qué bonito,
girl.
son dibujitos. ¿Y
This
qué
is
es
all
esto,
kinds of
abuelito?
different
Bunch
characters.
of naked cartoon ladies, bro.
with bushes and everything.
Oh,
One.
macho,
my
The
God.
latest
No.
I finally finished Credence.
You did?
I finally finished it. It wasn't as bad as people make it seem.
How do you feel?
I feel like
Dirty.
I'm missing out.
Horny.
That's the way you're supposed to feel, and I love you.
Wait.
Horny.
So
Missed out in my 20s. Is
what is it? But I want to go back to
Yes.
the painful part of it because so
I
obviously
didn't realize how much it affected me and how much, because to be honest with you, like I haven't been vulnerable since that relationship, and I haven't shed my armor since that. Like I loved. Okay, so there was one other guy that I was kind of like shedding that armor and being more vulnerable with him, but then I couldn't because he went to war, he came back, and
and then never
it was
they
very, very different.
yeah they always come back different.
Yeah, it was very, very
That's
different.
what I
It
hear.
wasn't
I
the
don't know.
same- like the relationship I had with him prior to him going to Syria, and then the relationship post Syria was very, very different. He was very different.
In what way? I'm actually curious
Well,
now.
people-
Like, in
He was extremely cold, extremely, because before he was like very loving, very nurturing, very protective, very caring, so he was making a very safe space for me, and we could talk for hours, and then he just became extremely cold. He didn't, like, he was very offensive. He didn't care that he was offensive. He was very distant, very
Closed off.
closed off. And for the most part, I can understand closed off parts just because of who he was, right? Because he's a cancer, and cancers typically like retreat into their little shell when they're going through stuff. So I understood that piece, right? Right. I understood that piece because that's who he was even before, but this was like to a different kind of extreme.
I almost feel like if there was a certain naivety, how do you say it? Naivete to certain things, people would
what
be
is
a lot
that, bro?
happier.
First of all,
Like if you're
for the raza
naive,
like me, what the fuck is that?
if you're
No,
naive,
no, no es ignorante. Cuando eres
Excuse me.
ingenuo.
Yes.
like you just
Cuando
don't
eres
know.
ingenuo. Cuando
Like-
eres un inocente, ingenuo. Es
Like
lo
if
que
you've never had an
quiere
orgasm.
Say it again.
decir.
No, he.
¿Qué dijo? ¿Qué dijo? ¿Qué dijo?
You have an orgasm.
You've never had one.
Like if
Naivete.
you've never had one. Okay, yeah.
Okay, wait.
That
Like,
makes you
some
innocent.
things are better off not knowing.
I have a really cool ability
Like body
of like saying things in a way you're gonna
Yeah,
process
that
them
totally
really.
counts.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's not important.
He wouldn't talk about stuff.
The number
And it's
doesn't
interesting
define
because
me.
He told me, he's like, I may change, but I didn't understand how much he was going to change. I didn't understand the impact of someone who goes to the military and does what they do and then come back. And
Especially if
then
you see war.
yeah, and
Or
it's
dead people
very
and
much-
stuff.
And then
Shit,
the hard
bro.
part, and I was trying my best, right? Because I had never dated anyone in the military, and he was in the Air Force. But there was times where the news was like very, very graphic of shit that was going on over there, and I wouldn't hear from him for days. And so I had no idea if he was alive, if nothing, until I would get a call. And sometimes those calls were just like maybe like 2-3 minutes, and you couldn't really hear, but I didn't care because at least I knew he was alive at that moment.
Hey, right now you're talking about that. You guys, and it's kind of like off topic, but the same thing. Is like, do you guys believe in like long distance relationships?
Yes, because I was
Yes.
in a long distance relationship with him.
But do
And
you
it
guys believe in them that they will work?
Well, they better work.
I
because
think
I'm
if the two
hungry now.
people
Yeah, I did it for a long time.
Yeah,
Hey,
if
my
it was, like,
this
constantly
show
working,
last year you were on it, and it was called
better be
Taking it out of
Amor de Lejos Entre Amigos. Do you remember that?
Say it again.
This show last year, you were on. That was your first show, and the name of the show was
I was
Amor
drunk,
de
I don't
Lejos
remember.
Entre Amigos. Because we always lived our way. We never lived in the same town, and we made it work for like how long?
Yo cuando tenía Messenger
7 years.
tenía novios como que vivían allá en Aguascalientes y así, eran mis novillos.
Did you ever meet
Yo fui
them?
muy noviera, no, nunca, pero yo los amaba, o sea, los amaba. los
She was
quería.
in the party line. If you remember, party line,
I
hey,
was.
she was the one that was in the party line.
I was the
Hey,
one that.
Hey, what's up? You know,
No,
press 2. Beep, girl.
No,
stop.
no,
I love you.
Espérate, ellos eran los que
40
decían,
años.
¿cómo te llamas? Y yo, ay, yo me llamo Débora, y así.
Did
A
you-
ver, una foto de una amiga.
Hey, did you guys ever get into those party lines?
The party line was the shit, dude. Like, it was.
Did you ever get in the party line? Never. Bro,
I had the
Joshua, what do you mean?
Excuse me, bien,
What did you do when you were
like,
growing up?
kitchen
I
AT&T.
was-
You're a good kid and everything.
I went out.
había
That's
puro
about it.
trailero, había puro.
Okay, that's good.
yeah, mi mamá,
What I will say is that it's really, really, really difficult because you miss them. You want to touch them and hold them and be with them, and that's very, very difficult when there is a long distance relationship.
That's where the smut magazines come in.
Especially,
Yeah.
especially on those really lonely nights.
yeah.
The toys don't do it.
Don't forget the toys.
Well, there's always FaceTime, you know, and like,
There was a lot of FaceTime.
yeah.
There was
Um,
a lot of that.
and I know there's some excellent vibrators out there that are
There's a lot of
Meow. Meow.
sex toys, everything.
same thing.
I was at Walmart yesterday, like looking at the makeup section.
Your husband?
Wait a minute, let me tell you. I was the Walmart in Sherry, and then I'm walking right, and there's a like cosmetics, and then I see like the wall. Oh, vibrators! They have all these vibrators.
Did you, Leila, did you buy one?
Walmart.
Do you own one already?
Yes.
So is it like
Walmart.
blow dryers?
No, but
Every
I wouldn't buy one
woman
at
owns
Walmart.
one.
I would go to like
Multiple.
Adam and Eve,
Adam and
Multiple
online, right?
toys.
Algo que dure.
Compra
To
mi
be
marido.
exact.
Well,
Okay.
demo.
Oye,
Different
algo
speeds.
que dure, porque si no se quiebra.
A mí
Different
me compra
speeds
mi
they have.
marido.
Te va a durar
¿Quieres
todo
ir
el día.
a Walmart mañana?
Sizes is
No, yo Walmart no compro. Ya
I
no.
was surprised that Walmart had that. I was
Eh,
like, what the fuck?
By the way, I don't care what you guys say. I don't care what you
That-
say. I don't care what you guys say.
Family-friendly
Toys are
store.
not the same as being with the
Ah,
man.
no, no es igual.
Come
No
on.
es igual.
No es igual.
Es
Oye,
igual, pero se siente bien padre cuando es hombre y juguetito. La neta. La
Yes,
neta.
it
Saludos a mi marido que ya
Freedom
pero llega.
Y mira alcoholizados. A la madre.
Bien drogado, ¿no es cierto?
Bien drogado.
Hey, I'll be shit. Any young sex, if you know, you know. That's all I gotta say.
if you know, you know.
No, es que también depende de qué nivel de
No. Okay, see, that's true. Not
borracho,
like,
porque
like,
hay un nivel que
wasted,
ya,
wasted.
no,
No,
mejor duerme
Joe,
de
Joe and
amor,
I had a
hablando de
conversation
amor primero.
here.
Eso no es amor, eso es sexo.
Remember that conversation?
Intenso.
es lujuria.
Eso es
Joe and I had a conversation,
salvajismo.
and I think you should ask the question now that Edgar brought it up.
About what?
He wanted to know everybody's like favorite position. Remember we had.
Oh, yeah.
Reverse cowgirl. I say it first, baby. Let's go.
He's
Let's go.
Let
Come
me
on,
tell
I've
you
been
right
saying this since day one.
What?
Demonstrate
I
it.
don't know what that is. Reverse call. I'm not
Okay,
Google
listen. You're
No
like
sabes.
this.
I mean, like, you're like,
Demonstrate it.
A ver,
Oh, it's
no.
like,
I don't want to see it.
She's gonna be saying it and then she's gonna look at you.
You're gonna write him, but in
no,
then-
like, what?
you're gonna
Se
write
va a
him in reverse.
voltear.
I'm very
You're gonna
ADHD.
write
Mira,
I cannot.
it in
This
Tell your
is
ADHD.
insane.
Listen, when you're writing it like that, your HAC goes away.
when you're writing it like that, you're-
Facing you away. She's looking the other way.
No, it's the back. It's giving the back.
It's hard to envision. them.
es como si estuvieras arriba, pero al revés.
It's because the best part of it. Listen, the best part of it is
I
like you
love
just stare at it
jelly.
and you just go like this.
But
Full out blow 'em, and you leave the hand in there. That is the best part of that.
Where?
The
The
handprint.
gluteus maximus.
break up
And darling, if you don't have a gluteus maximus, it's gonna be in your back. Anyways.
I think
Ándale.
I can't say I've never tried it. I may have tried it in one of my drunken nights. But it sounds like it felt good, you know?
Oh, it's
For
the,
both parties.
Por eso es su favorita.
it's the best, bro.
Es que sí.
And the best part of it too is, no, I'm not gonna lie, because females typically say like, "Oh, guys, 2 pumps, whatever," and I'm like, "All right, baby, you're gonna squat. Today you squatting," and that's the best part of it too.
So she writes it.
Oh, hell yeah, and she has to.
That's a job.
she has to.
It's like your hamstrings are gonna hurt you.
Prerequisite.
It's
just painful.
pre-qualified, by the way.
Here.
Sign the waiver.
like the way-
No, no, no. So going back to your painful situation of being dumped by this man who just
You're the
cheated on you and left you there. You know, and years later you still feel it. Heartbreaks don't always have to happen to everybody. I mean, a lot of us sitting here can say that we've gone our entire lives without ever hurting from the heart.
Well, because what
Would anybody agree with that?
breaker.
I
You know
don't.
what I mean?
I
There,
think
that's
no,
where
I
there's a
think we all
difference. You're either the
hurt.
heart.
No, I
It's just
heartbreaker.
different. Like it just depends. What kind of
I think we all get
I've been-
heartbreak, bro.
I've been
I think you
both.
have to
Has
go
anyone
through
ever broken
heartbreak.
Uh,
your heart?
I would say it's
I'm a beer.
there's two things, right? I've done the breaking of the hearts, and I've
Oh,
gotten my
fuck.
heart broken too. but I mean,
broken up.
I think guys.
I have. I've
guys
broken
is
a lot of
easier to
hearts.
get over.
Well, how did you
It's all-
break their
it's all-
heart?
It's all fake.
Oh, it was
like
the
as
dick.
in like it's not.
An
That's
asshole.
always fun.
I
But
think,
you see, the thing
Not
about it,
just like
I
you.
bet that when you were like that, they were still attracted to you
of
even
course,
more.
yeah, it's worse.
Because there's people that,
But
yeah.
They swipe to that.
The key question
For-
is always
There's
is
girls
it
that
love
like
or
that.
is it lust? And you always have to ask yourself that. And I think when I was
Lust first and then love.
you think was I with this person? Was it love or was it lust?
The way
It's a
Nowadays,
fucking
it's
different.
lust and then love.
Also, that
Well,
if more than
that to me that I have never seen before.
more than half of the people when they break up, they go with the same type of person again.
Because you
And
have
Okay,
again.
wait.
Some-
No,
Again.
hey,
Secta,
hey,
no?
don't be talking about
Like
her.
one
We
secta.
talked
After
about
no,
her, right?
last episode.
We talked about her
Same
last show,
guy.
not today.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
60% of people that break up,
I
they go.
saw that. I saw that. I saw that you
What
put
was
that.
that?
And it's true.
60% of people that break up,
It's
they go with the
true.
same type
Mine,
of
it was
person.
5 guys.
Okay, same statistics about divorce. If you divorce your first wife, odds are you're gonna divorce your second wife and third. Look at J Lo. My God, come on. You know.
No, that's
Pero J-Lo,
that's
J-Lo's another story, dude.
Life, okay, real life. Aquí, aquí, you're more than
In the
likely
Rio Grande Valley,
in one of
in the RGV.
more than likely you're gonna end up separated or divorced from that person. Again,
damn.
those are
Then
the
that
odds.
means I'm already safe from my first divorce. 2, 3.
Single, you know.
I wonder what
Imagine-
city in the Rio Grande Valley has more divorces.
Donna. Duh.
Donna.
No, se casen.
Donna. Don't talk about
Donna's bad.
Eh, pinche Donna, fuck. Al compa.
I like Donna.
No, even if you're driving through like step on it, you don't want to be driving through.
That's
Like,
great. I get you get
my
the
God,
spam calls
no.
from the Rio Grande Valley. I get them from Donna all the time. It's like I think
We don't go
people
there.
Got tired
Juan,
of me
is that
talking
you,
shit.
Juan? I know you're from Donna. Juan. Oh, shit, dude, he knows. He
Keep-
sends up, bro.
People are even changing their city to like a different city para que no digan Donna. That's crazy, dude. That's just crazy.
Puro scammer,
well,
bro.
I thought I recall my first heartbreak being very drastic because I didn't realize there was a heartbreak
Which
happening.
detail?
We're not doing
Because you can't speak.
no, then I'll lose my voice and I lose my I can't stay composed and I look
Passion.
disgusting. But let me just get a little bit of liquid courage back here.
I don't want no
Go
more.
for it.
Spit on it, bro.
I want to go eat with jelly.
Qué
beans.
loco. Ay, Dios mío. Salud, en casita.
I already had mine. That's Joshua's.
This is mine.
So
Oh,
basically,
Right, kids.
I've never had my heart broken.
Never had
¿Qué?
had your heart broken.
Eh, no te creo, bro. I don't
Yo-
believe that. I don't
We've
believe.
all had our heart broken at least once.
Wait.
One
Here,
or the other.
is it? We're talking still about
Especially
relationship
when you're
love, right?
40.
We're not talking about like parents or we're talking
No,
just strictly love.
Strictly
I-
love.
No, well, we can talk about it, but I think it's important for us to do emphasize other heartbreaks
Yeah.
because it does shape us. Different heartbreaks does shape us. Like, loss of a
Guys,
job,
That's the only heartbreak.
loss of a parent. Like
Your friend
Last
betraying
of
you.
the best
Somebody
friends,
betrayed
that was
you.
your boyfriend.
Layla has a story for us.
A friend betraying you. I've had that before.
Guys, Layla has a moving story for us.
now.
Nadie me peló,
Bring it
vale.
back closer so everybody can hear you.
The past. and
Ah, ya me
going
voy.
back and looking at love, like I'm still with the father of my kids, which I love very, very much. He's like my best friend. He's been there through. I mean, I think we left each other for a while.
it's like I left him.
I
he's
left.
still
Okay,
with
well, that sounds
me,
bad.
I
Like we
love
left
him.
each other. Yes, I was like, man, we got back together, things like that. But it was like a 4-year break. But even like
Did you have fun in the break?
Did you just
Hold
remember
on.
what you did in your 4 years?
I was like, yes,
Yes,
went,
'cause I can
yes.
see your smile.
I love it.
No escuché.
Those moments. But like true heartbreak, guys, like honestly, like because now I can actually tell you all like high school shit because that's what I thought was my real heartbreak. Because I honestly my high school sweetheart, because I had two, but the main one of the two, yes, I know, the main one of the two,
I know her.
I thought it was, I mean, like literally my whole, and I was talking about it today, that how weird, like when I was in high school, I had such a low self-esteem. I was a freshman to my senior year. I had a real low self-esteem, but because I aspired to be like I knew he was in love with his ex and I was with him. I wanted to be what he wanted. And it was like, so I had a very like bad, like I always was like, oh my God, he's going to leave me. Like if she takes him back, she'll go back to her and leave me. But that's not heartbreak. That's love. That's a puppy love, whatever. Like that's why now I can say, maybe you can call that a heartbreak because so many times that person break my heart, whatever. I don't believe in it now. That's why I wish kids that end up with their high school sweethearts, not everybody. I always say, be
2 to
careful.
4% only.
So
Well, back in the day, that was different because my parents were high school sweethearts and they ended up married. And
They're the 2 to
and then they were
4%.
married, right?
my mom took my
What?
dad from my dad had a girlfriend, a long time term girlfriend, and my parents met on a Valentine's Day and they were married 2 months later.
That was me and Art.
Hey, I'll tell you guys this story that one of my clients. Well, I'm not gonna say names, but one of my clients told me, and I mean, this client is.
Describe her.
Well, she's
A girl.
Manzanita.
no,
I'm
she's.
kidding.
I
That's it.
honestly, she's up over 60
Oh, then
or 60.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say names, but
I thought you
so
said a girlfriend, not your girlfriend, right?
no, no, no.
Okay.
Well, she's my sugar mom, but like that's different. Okay. Anyways, back to the story. No, like I remember when she told me her whole love thing, I was like, what the? So she had she was the only daughter, and then all brothers. So she was always protected. So all her like she was never football games, nothing growing up. Like she was always like all the brothers were super jealous with her. So until she got old enough, she just like ran away with the first person that who was like a friend of the brothers, and then she went through like abuse and all that stuff. And I was like, wow, like I was like as she was telling me her story, I was trying to put myself in her shoes, right? Because she's like desperate. She never done nothing, and then first marriage that she goes to because I'm sure that she saw movies, she saw books, right? And that builds you. Yes, no, yeah.
Yes, it does.
It could build you, and then she was like abuse, all kinds of things, infidelity and all that stuff, and she was still like tolerating that until it's like she like went to a dance, like Bascondidas, and then she like met this random person, and then that she like fell in love with that guy. But then the crazy part to it is that then she never saw him again, that guy, the dance guy.
And she fell in love with him that night.
And then
Yeah, so she went. It was like a book, but she was saying, "I'm like, are you sure you're not telling me a book story?" Anyways,
a Hallmark movie.
and then the craziest part is what's coming up. And then she then left this abusive relationship, got into a marriage. The same thing happened in the second marriage. Then she was like, "Fuck this, I'm better." Ended up X amount of years alone, and then she went into her third marriage. Turns out that this third marriage was exactly like the guy that she had
a pattern, yeah.
experienced during that dance.
Due date pattern.
Then she tells me, I just ran into this guy 25 years later at a business. And that,
Dance guy.
yeah. And she's old, I mean, 60 plus. And then I'm listening to this story, and she was like, and I felt it as I saw him. And my husband knows about him.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, it was like a story. It was crazy. And I was like, and then she's telling me like, do you think I should go on a date with him? I'm like, bitch, you're married. Like what? I was mind blown. I was like, you should write a book about just this
What you're
whole
saying
thing.
is that an older woman can love?
No.
No, I'm not saying that. I was just like, it was crazy.
It's mind blowing how you can feel a connection with somebody in just one day.
You can.
And then meet up with them years later. You don't know nothing about him. And then you want to get to know him.
Which,
That's
by the
crazy
way,
part.
me, like, right now you guys are talking about like, oh, I fell in love with like so many girls.
Oh my
But when I was international, no, like, just I never.
Respectfully. Respectfully.
No, but here's the thing. I never like had anything. The craziest part is like I never actually had like anything sexual. It was just like when I was actually for a period of time I was traveling the world, and I would just meet them, and then I fell in love with them, and then I would realize that they were like had a boyfriend, and I literally would get heartbreak.
So I have a question. Did they ever give you fellatio?
Huh? No,
Relation.
no, they no.
What is that? What is that?
You're little.
Like, Edgar, that was not heartbreak. You were little. I didn't mean that.
Well,
like
what is
I
that?
meant, like,
He
Well,
still is.
I am. Hey, it's fun size. Okay, it's fun size.
Fellatio.
Fun
Oh,
size.
ask him that.
you can.
What's fellatio?
But I feel a lot of that's like just like an immediate like
Joshua,
lust.
Sound it more
and-
like
No, but here's the
Joshua.
thing. I never did anything with them. For me, honestly,
It's called something with
no,
actuation.
for me, I kid you not. For me, like when I meet a girl, what I really like gets me really attracted is when a girl is like funny, and it's crazy. Like she doesn't get likes a lot of attention and whatnot. I think that's for me. That's like.
Look
attractive.
who decided to show up.
Oh yeah. Hey, what's fellatio? Or what did you say?
Can someone tell her?
Show.
Can someone tell her what
blowjob.
fellatio is?
Oh, es que I didn't know.
What is that though?
En inglés se dice, en español se dice Huawei.
Ah, Huawei.
En español se dice.
El Glock 3000.
Myra, thank you for joining us today.
You look gorgeous. I love you.
¿Dónde andabas?
You look.
Are you ready for Valentine's Day?
Te ves guapísima.
¿A dónde va? Dice.
Are you ready for Valentine's Day? Do you have a Valentine's?
I'm starting tonight, yeah.
Wow.
I love
Anda
it.
recio la comadre.
Love it.
No, anda recio, anda recio.
We love
Hey, straight to business, baby. Let's go.
Yes, exactly.
So you were at a mixer right now. Did you meet anybody prominent?
No.
No. That's the valley for you all.
Somebody prominent after anyway. So.
Oh.
Me encantó.
Oh.
Is it a mayor, commissioner from a city, or anyone in particular?
No se dice, no se
No
dice.
sepa.
Talk about those things.
Cuando no se habla, se come 3 veces y comes con madre.
Exacto.
Anyways,
So,
Mara, we're talking.
Edgar was going through what we call infatuation. Like
Infatuation, that's what I was.
Infatuation.
Infatuation
sounds
is not
like.
love. It's what we
And
call
you can
lust.
be heartbroken
Like-
from an
By,
infatuation.
by the way,
It's not
I've only
I
had
believe it's bullshit.
no. The thing about it, like,
Infatuation
I've only had one
pussy whoop.
girlfriend. I've only had one girlfriend, and then after that broke. Like, just one, and then after that, it was like, I remember after I broke up with my only girlfriend, it was like I remember my senior year, I met this girl from Miami. I met her in I won this thing. I went over there, and I met her. She was so cool and everything. I was in love with her. And I remember I left Miami, and then I would message her on Facebook, and I was like, "Hey, is it cool if I go to your prom with you and all that good stuff?" I was already making hopes and thought. And then she ended up with another guy at the prom. And I was like,
He's
"Fucking
like-
bitch,
Definitely
you're long."
infatuation.
Koala. He's
Yeah.
like a crab.
Es que tienes corazón de pollo.
No, and then after like 10 of those, I was like, "You motherfucking bitches." You know what?
Es que tienes corazón de pollo.
Infatuation.
Hey, exactly that.
Have they ever left you heartbroken?
Of course.
How many times?
Be human.
Is it possible to love more than once?
I don't know. That's a hard one because I think that when we do, as we're growing older, right? When you're young, it's the first love, and you think that, oh my God, this is. I don't know. Me personally, the way I got raised was find an older man, they're ready to settle, get married, have kids, and this is the process of life, right? And if you don't follow it, well, you're the black sheep of the family.
Right.
You know, but it's not like that. It's like you've mentioned before, right, Josh, how you are a product of your environment because that's what they've been inputting in your brain.
Sure, you grow up that way.
So you grow up thinking that mentality of like, all my family has gotten married, had kids, gone to college, this and that's the end of that's life, right? It's not like that.
It's not. I don't agree with that at all.
Cycle, and then you realize, hey, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I did break a cycle. I was the first one, and I did it for all my cousins and everybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it was like
I
it's okay to have a life. It's okay to go to college. It's okay to not be married while you're in college. It's okay to live your single life before really.
Because by then you have enough life
I'm gonna get
experience.
divorced. I still have 3 more years.
There you go.
I agree with you.
I love it.
My first time, I was engaged at 19, but he was 10 years older. He was 29.
But if you think about it, ask yourself this question. At 19, it's like you're fresh, you're young. How many bodily fluids have you exchanged with other people? It's like it's not sufficient for you to really get married, you know?
Okay, mom.
I think at least until 28, you're mentally
Because
Hey, I heard that guys mature at 35 or something like that. They fully
probably
develop-
40,
Probably 40.
5, maybe 45.
you brought up a good point last episode or last show because you said that it doesn't matter how old you are as far as your maturity level, but experience has a lot to do with who you are with age. Because who I was at 25 is not who I was
For sure.
at 35, and it's definitely not who I am now at 44.
That's like 5-year increments. He changes.
I do believe huge difference.
You learn so many abilities in those years.
All these
Like,
Well, I mean, and I'm not talking about relationships. I'm talking about just in life in general, the way you see life, like things that don't. I mean, when I moved back to the valley, the one thing I could not understand about the valley is this toxica.
Hey, don't be talking about my friends like that, okay?
It's very romanticized and it sucks.
Like it's so normalized.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
Like
Like,
social
at what
media, like
point?
now people are like, oh, you liked her thing, or oh, why did she?
Yo,
You know what?
zero tolerance to that, man. Zero tolerance.
Will never be okay. I But think a it's lot of just being people are seen as the happy with norm. it. But
Uh,
everybody goes but through it. that's Everybody's dealing with it. It doesn't mean that you becomes follow the normalized and then crowd. it becomes
Yeah.
okay.
No, I
And
agree.
for me, like when
Chamus.
when it's something like that, especially when it comes to like jealousy, somebody posted. I don't know if it was you or you. You two are always posting shit.
Hey, the prop.
I read it on Facebook.
Stop engaging shit.
Estos niños.
Hey, there's an unfollow button. All right. Unfollow.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna make your day.
Just for kicks, and I.
That is true.
It's funny. He loves the attention, which is why.
No, it's I post stuff and then I'm like making food after and then like I'm not even paying attention anymore.
The more you
No, dude, you're like eating popcorn waiting for people to comment.
Well, that is true.
he's pressing buttons at the
If you
right.
fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with y'all back.
With Edgar, you
Don't engage.
You
Don't
engage with
engage with
Edgar, and
Josh.
Edgar like goes you. He doesn't give a
I know.
He doesn't care what you're posting. He's like,
He's even
I
answering his text messages. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
He's
Hey, I'm serious. I supply.
Yeah, you're the supplier.
I
not the
supply.
engaged.
Okay,
Yeah.
I supply.
You're the
Listen,
supplier,
I
not the
supply
engager.
drugs. I mean, memes, memes for you
See, I'm
guys
so
to
desperate for
enjoy.
people to comment and comment back. I comment right back.
Because things ended very fast.
Exactly.
There we
Got 0 friends.
Who's
Here we
the
go.
first victim?
He has a Billy.
So Layla didn't finish Layla's. So she had a different type of laws.
Because I'm old.
Not just a heartbreak
Yeah,
that had to do with an individual that like backstabbed her and cheated on her and left her to die, but someone else that
Man.
what I was saying was like, oh my God, if this is what heartbreak feels like, that's what I'm going through right now, right? Like I literally, but it's not
but what did you went through?
through like
Girl.
at my job, right? And I know it's like I don't even want to cry because that makes me cry. Like you
Cry
said,
if you
that's
want
the
to.
heartbreak. Like,
Yeah.
you cry about someone that
And
you
you still
lost.
feel it?
Like
I went through that.
so bad, like I tell my husband, you could leave me tomorrow, and I don't think. I mean, not that I wouldn't cry. I love it, but I know I have a connection with him. My kids, like we'll always be a part of each other. My job, like I have a connection, which is my daughter that still goes to the school district, and I have so much anger. Like I don't even want to send her to school. Like I just want to be a rebel against that damn. Like what you do as a girlfriend. Like when you're like, I remember when me and my husband had split up, and it was my fault though, but I was a real bitch. Like when I knew he was dating someone, I would keep the kids from him. Like adrede, I would hide the kids. Oh, like I was one of
Hide the
those
kids, hide the wife.
I
They're
was-
ripping everybody out here.
So like like that's but this was in my 20s, right? And I was like very like I'm like sí, like bueno, yo ahora no you're
Vengativa.
gonna be andar con like yo andaba haciendo mis cosas, él también, pero a mí no me gustaba que me lo hicieran a mí, right? So
Sí, 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 sí.
Siempre somos.
that's a different
Bayuco.
topic, right? That's capricho.
Another
So,
episode.
but
Let me ask
at
really
this-
quick. How old were you when you got with him?
I was right out of high school,
But
but
she was really young.
so I left
See,
my
so
high
you
school
were still
sweetheart. I left
growing.
my high school sweetheart.
You know?
I left my high school sweetheart and I met him. I already knew him. He was older than me, 3 years old. Like he was already out. Like he turned 21 when I turned 18. I was 18. He was 21.
Because he
That's not that
graduated
bad.
a year before.
He graduated a year before, so I was never.
Oh, he was just waiting then.
No,
Maybe
but
7
like,
days.
that day, but what's so
7
weird-
days, baby.
No, guys, but what's so
Tell me when you're 18.
A la madre que.
Damn.
No, what's so weird with this was that when I met him, I knew he was gonna be my like forever. Even though we've been through hell and back, guys. No, I said this is a guy I'm gonna marry.
Wait,
Like,
you
there
you
was-
thought of
no,
that when you were 18? You like
I
that was your
was 18.
no, but like you thought of that when you were 18, like
18,
it-
yeah,
it's-
like after I had just graduated, like and like whatever. So, anyways, but we went through a lot of hell. Like I went through my phases of I turned 20. I left him when I turned 21. I left him when I like every 24. Like I left him in phases of my life, and then when I had my kids, and I still left. Like so, we went through a lot of shit. Like it was a roller coaster. So to be at this age now, we've been together all these years. It hasn't been smoothly perfect. He's like my best friend, like my other half. But the like what I've been going through, like that's the heartbreak that I can tell you is like I literally feel like pa que algo like for something to provoke that sadness in you like this, that tells you like the fuck did you do to me? Like and it's an entity. It's not even a person, it's a fucking entity.
yeah.
Like how can an entity have that power?
Is it
I-
because you lose-
Well,
it's 'cause
well, the
you
thing is
lost
that
your identity.
this was her
You don't
dream.
have your identity.
This was her dream.
Like my high school yearbook and my high school sweetheart is with me in the high school. We had a post, like they had all the seniors, so it was like several of us in a group picture, and there was a question. I should have brought it, right. It says, where do you see yourself in 10 years? So everybody had they had our picture, and they had like a little the little bubble with, oh, I see myself working in this school district. Like I see myself living in the valley and working at the school district. And I'm thinking like, my God, how not how sad, but that was my aspiration since I was very young,
Yeah.
right? So I set my mind to that and I did it and I, exceeded it. But then what I
They broke
wanted
up with you, and that
broke up
hurt.
with me, like literally like dumped me like that, like no remorse, no, oh my God, you've been a
No.
part of us for 20 years. Fuck that shit.
No, you're irreplaceable.
Go.
I guess in every
it's
aspect of life. huh?
But they haven't replaced her position. I'll say
How
that.
long have you been feeling that funk? Like
from the day I got
So,
my last paycheck.
how-
From the day
no, no, but how long? How long has it been?
17 years ago.
from my last contract day was June 18th.
June 18. So this past June.
Yeah, to now.
2024.
It took me 8 months.
So
8
so
months.
I'm going through what you call adjustment disorder. I've already diagnosed myself.
A
Right?
la
Adjustment
madre.
disorder is, and I have with manic. I've already gone past the manic episodes and emotionally depressed
Agreed.
episodes, but I've gone past those because I went through a lot of stupid shit. But I'm at a different stage now. But it's supposed to take you 6 months to get out of that funk. I'm already a little past 6 months, but I'm better. I'm not gonna say it's there, but it's still like that topic still hurts, man. It like como te arde because I did nothing wrong. You know what I mean? Like I did nothing wrong yet. I was replaceable. Like you thought I wasn't good enough. You know, whatever.
And I feel like the same
But
happens with love.
20 years of my life. So
It
you're talking
does.
about
The same thing. Like you're
from
replaceable. Next person, and
from
like
21 years old up until 21, 22 of, I mean, 2004 is when I started. 2004 to leave in 2024, 20 years. So I got a cup. So we get every year, like your 15-year, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, XY, right? So this was my 20-year anniversary, right, with that school district. So they have a little like, oh, at one of the meetings they give us a freaking Yeti mug with 50, with my 20-year. Oh, pinche madre. This is my parting gift, no manches. Like it's just an extra memory to fucking take with me and be like, oh, here you go, 20 years, you're gone. So that's the only really like heartbreak, and it's weird because I can't talk about a guy like that because I've been the heartbreaker. I've been the one that like F you, or yeah, I've had infatuation, little relationships, pero eran puro pinche infatuation. No era nada de verdad, era whatever the X reasons, right? Like, so I have to distinguish that, like, what's true love? Like, true love is something that really fucking hurts you, like fucking hurts you, like
what you're going through.
changes your identity, it changes you, like, so you got to really reflect on that. Did this really change me? Did it affect me? Did it affect my daily living? It did, and it still is. I still haven't gotten a job, you know, and
Yeah.
I don't know what the future holds for me, but I don't even want to go back to education because it really fucked with me that
Well, great thing is you can reinvent yourself at any moment in life.
For sure.
That's right, you can.
I
But
agree with them.
Yep.
when you have
Sure.
student loans of like $1,500 and some $1,000 of student loans, no sé para qué chingados saqué tanto student loan. Fui para UTPA.
What is that? UTPA.
Dude, so adjustment disorder.
Pinche vaquero. I was puro
I'm
pineapple,
gonna-
pineapple.
my friend,
Watching this
my
vaquero.
friend, she's watching this. If she's watching this, she was dating a man that had an extremely large dick, and now she's with somebody who has a shorter dick,
So she had
and she's adjustment disorder, right?
Vagina adjust.
Disorder.
Your vagina adjust.
Yeah,
Hey, so how long did it take you your
and she
last?
can't
Like,
really get through it.
how long like was
On
of
the big
mental
one.
punk?
what's your
So she's saying that still it was how many? How long?
I-
It's been 6 months.
September, October, November, December, January.
6
To
months.
get
About
over
9 months,
what? Get over the love or get over the pain?
Get over the pain. How long did it take you? I know you said it was a couple of years.
It took like at least. It took like about 3 years.
And what did you do through that time to like overcome the whenever that thought would enter your head? Because it happens all the time. You're like, I'm not good enough.
I
Is
focused
it just
on
a time
myself.
thing?
No, I focused on myself. I went back to school because I had stopped going to school to support his dream. So I went back to school, left the valley. It's just really and that's I still do that. Like I still every time I'm going through something, like I go back and I focus on myself and I remember who I am. When I started working out, and I may or may not talk about that other person, but when I started working out, it's really difficult for me to look at myself in the mirror. Very, very difficult. And I was telling Joe that you were teaching me how to do something, and I'm like, and I was like in the mirror. And I was like, no, like you don't understand how hard it is for me to look in the mirror. And then
Y Manzanita bailando. Ay, mira, mira, mira.
yes,
Yo.
Nadie está hablando de mí, Edgar, nadie.
So,
¿Tú qué, Joshua? Yo no sé, Joshua, hombre. Hombre, Joshua.
be nice. I'm be nice here. Sorry.
It's okay. And Manzanita was the one when I was going through something. Manzanita was the one who put me in my place with all of her yelling and her screaming and her very sugar coated advice. She put me in my place. But to go back, I really just go back and I focus on myself. I always focus on myself. Like I do take time to grieve because I believe that anger, sadness, depression, resentment, feeling like shit, these are normal feelings.
Human emotions.
Definitely. And I always feel like if you're going through that, you have to feel them, visit them, don't stay there, right? Visit them and then move on. So I say
It's on fire.
I get there, I feel it, and then I'm like, okay, let me adjust my crown, remember who I am, remember the woman I am, because I've been through a lot, and I am a very, very independent person. I don't need anybody. I would want somebody, which is very, very different, right? Wanting somebody and needing somebody are very, very different. And so then I'm like, no, I need to just like move forward. Like I bring I won't say everything Manzanita said because I can't remember everything she said, but
I'm gonna tell you. I'm just waiting for you to finish.
I love it.
But I bring a lot to the table, so I shouldn't be feeling sad over shit.
Yes.
Like he needs to be hell of a man for me to be like,
I'm
okay,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna humble myself.
A big man, you know.
I'm gonna add to what you said because I feel that I put you in your place sounds like a bad thing. It was actually just
Oh, you're a bad
reminding-
person.
Shut
No,
up.
he's not a bad person. I love
actually
Aries because
Bad
that's what
person,
they do.
guys.
I just told her like, dude, look at you. Like, look at yourself. Look at your eyes. Look at how beautiful you are. How tall you are. Like people would kill to have your eyes. You're amazing. You're an amazing person. Yourself.
Pep
Like
talk.
you're an independent person. Like who is that person? Like you are you. Like look at yourself. Own it. Like stop thinking these negative thoughts because they're invading your brain. And sometimes it's very important for us to talk back to ourselves because our minds, we can, well, me personally, I can be like my own worst enemy because I'm very like bad on myself. But then I'm also like, okay, no, I need to stop thinking this, and that's what I told Lorena. Like, güey, no mames, estás hermosa, eres bien inteligente, bien estudiada, bien pilas para todo,
No
no te
dijiste
pases de
pilas.
lanza.
Dijiste algo más, güey. No dijiste...
Eres bien verga, así le dije. Así le dije.
We all love that show.
Saludos a mi marido. Saludos a mi marido. Es que le caga que diga maldiciones. Mi amor, te amo.
I know. We don't say
Hey,
that.
next person. I do want to hear your, bro.
I think the problem with most people is that they automatically go to the negative. Like when they think too much, like they think too long and don't keep their minds busy enough.
Yes.
Like if they're not doing anything all day, it's automatically gonna go to negative. Like
It's
this
that
just
song
how
that
your
says,
brain
when you
works.
think too much,
I don't
eventually
have-
it
I don't
starts
have
to
to
hurt.
double.
And it's true.
So, and one of the
Sure.
biggest enemies,
Exactly.
guys, in love is gonna be expectations. So as soon as you
Yes.
fall, put expectations on your partner.
I would-
Or
yes.
I
like
don't
me.
I don't
In my case,
necessarily
the
agree with
expectation
that.
was, I honestly thought that I was gonna retire from that place. Like I said, oh, this my retirement plan was already here. Oh, I'm gonna retire 51. Damn, they fucking changed my plans like this. So my expectations were crushed. My expectations that these have been my 20 plus year expectations. Same thing with a partner or
But
your
I don't
significant
necessarily
other.
agree with
Oh,
that
hell.
because you should have expectations of the person that you're with.
But what I mean is expectations beyond what
What's appropriate or their
capable
potential.
of giving you. Like a person cannot give you forever, Josh. If they tell you I'm gonna be with you forever, they're fucking lying to you.
Oh shit.
Forever.
¿Oíste? ¿Oíste?
Heartbreak.
Mi marido, güey.
Shit.
Joshua,
Sorry.
Mi marido.
Number one reason that we get let down.
as your wife ever said that to you.
Hey, so,
Not only that.
so you're telling me that everybody's lying when at the altar, right? Am I right or am I
That's
wrong?
what I'm saying, like,
So
no,
Liars.
I'm gonna be with this
False
person.
expectations.
Like, I don't know.
So when people start dating and they expect, like, let's just say, what is honeymoon stage? Te comienzan con las flores y que ay, que acá y te trata. Y luego ya, a few years
that's what
pass.
you put your
But
foot on the
wait,
table.
yeah. But how many, let's do a survey of all the women that are married and men. How many still, it's very few that still have the same relationship because it's a honeymoon stage, right? So all of those nice deeds that women do for the men and men for the women, they're all kind of gone. After you have kids, that's kind of very true.
I
It's
can't
true.
speak. I
So
don't have children.
that's why there become marital issues start because like the love, they say the love is gone. It's not that love is gone. It's like your expectations are already let down because lo que
Most
hacía-
marital
lo que
issues
hacía
happen
antes ya
because
no
of
lo
money
hace.
though.
Oh, ay, antes era bien.
Yes.
You
Yes.
for someone, and then if you marry that person and then they put like, okay, they literally let me down. My expectations, like he put up all this before and now we're married. It all went to fucking shit. It was all
It was the
like,
money.
you're not-
First he did lights, balloons,
Nowadays,
fireworks.
women are more like valientes y les vale, como dicen, les vale verga, and they get a divorce.
Ni
Fuck it,
modo.
like,
And now you get ramen.
right? Yes.
Ni modo.
I love
Back
Sí.
in the day,
Ni
what?
modo.
Back in the day, our
Atún
ancestors
con elote, mayonesa y
se
galletas
quedaban
saladas.
ahí through thickness
Y que te fue bien.
and
It's different times.
Thick and
Different
thin.
times.
through thick and thin, they stayed. Sickness and hell, they stayed. Like, no, I'm not.
But the opportunities for women back then are not the same.
Exactly. But now we have more expectations. Now we have like, like
Well, back in the day, the men would just grab the woman by the head and say, "You're mine," and then take them. Yeah.
And that's it.
And that's what they would do, like-
stay like this. And
Not anymore. Now y'all got choices.
There-
it's our culture.
dated
It's our
somebody,
Mexican.
but it's not
I
just
mean,
our
I don't know
culture.
if any other cultures
Because
like
I
that, but
dated
ours
this
is.
guy who was not Mexican, and he was extremely supportive and extremely. He really was. He was very supportive when it came to my education and I want to get my doctorate. And he was like the only one because every other person that I dated or talked to, they're like, for what? Like for what? Like what is your purpose to get your doctorate, or what's your purpose to get a master's, or what is your purpose on having a career, or having your own business? He was very supportive, and I think I told you about this. But I didn't realize that what he was doing is that he wanted a wife to be like, she's educated and she's smart. But the goal was she's smart and she's educated, but she's at home taking care of the kids and tending to the house. He wasn't Mexican.
So his expectation for her
Uh-huh.
was to stay, yeah, get all the education, I'll pay for it, vámonos. Pero te vas a
Why are
quedar
you
en
looking
casa.
at me with those hateful
John,
eyes? Look at
John.
you.
I know.
I'm scared of her. I'm just gonna not gonna look at her.
Triggered me.
She figured
Chick, hey, welcome to the club.
I'm kidding. I'm actually.
Hey, I don't know, but I want my partner to feed me and take care of me because I'm a
What are you
yo soy
gonna
un
do?
princeso. Yo te voy a decir, yo voy a estar así, I need milk and I want cookies.
I need to wipe this up.
I know más. I'm just, that is.
Hey, Dr. So, how do you say that,
Hey,
that it's good for you to have?
I heard they were expensive.
Te dije, con wipes.
And they have to be name brand wipes, please.
Son name brand wipes.
Las
That ain't
no,
cheapy.
las pinches with
That ain't
no
cheapy.
figure o no sé qué. Las caras. Porque el mono le invirtió a su cuerpo. Le tiene que costar, para que sepa, le tiene que costar. Sí. Sí.
Y fíjate que eso es un buen tema.
La generación de ahora es diferente. Los
Espérate.
hombres se tienen que respetar, ser valorados. Quiérete, princesa.
Okay.
Espérate, déjame te digo. Espérame, I want to say something.
Quiérete, amigo.
What you're
Quiérete,
saying
cabrón.
It's true. Us women, we're not used to men having expectations. We're not used to hearing that type of language.
I am.
No, la mayoría no sabemos. We don't know. Like we look at like, oh, the men are the ones that are fishing for women, or oh, the men are. ¿Cómo
Well,
se
you
dice?
have to differentiate between the men that are and the men that aren't.
You have to
Like
differentiate
it's
between
You know how sexy it is when a
Mira.
girl. You know how sexy it is when a girl throws.
Espérame,
like,
es que
no,
estamos
baby,
acostumbradas-
good. And you're like, are you talking to me? And the girl's like, yeah. And you're like, hey, nice.
I
know, right?
From guys, from the guys, because they're all there like, hey, wait. Then one girl just throws the shot and you're like, oh, she is a 1%er. We must all obey. Hell, the 1%. Hell, the 1%er. And then she pays your meal, and you're like, she paid my meal, bro.
That's a privilege.
I've heard that women are just as bad as men. Is it true?
Oh, bro.
Yeah, you got some stuff.
In what way?
All the same thing. Like,
So Ed,
Sexual.
oh yeah, all of it.
mama, quiere que alguien like
But
Sounds
you're
like it.
female.
You want to be a sugar baby.
He's like, yes, and I'm proud of it.
¿Y tú qué
Ay,
vas a aportar nada más?
Mija, yo le voy a aportar puro
Driving
empoderamiento. Voy a andar,
Mercedes Benz.
hey,
Dame, güey.
every morning she's gonna be like, this guy.
Cuerpo mati.
Dame, güey.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, but because listen, the girl's gonna be a type of like, mijo, yo facturo, no te ocupo. Yo, oh my god,
what a turn on.
ahí no más. Porque that's not what it is. She just said it. I don't need a man, right? She just said it. I don't need a man. I don't need. Okay.
Roles are reversed. No, it's not
like,
serious.
Hey, okay.
Okay,
I'm just using the phrases that were used earlier. I don't need a man. I don't need that. I'm like, okay, cool.
No, that's what I'm saying. Edgar, para
I'm
ti es
just
como,
gonna
what?
make sure- make
Turn,
sure
I'm over here
it's
like, what the fuck?
I'm like-
So before we wrap up the show, because we're gonna have to get it going because they're closing here already. I want you to tell us your heartbreak story. Were you the one that broke the heart, or did they break your heart?
The first time I got my heart broken.
Okay.
What
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was a little girl. I was like 14, 15.
Did you cry?
I was like a little girl.
She's like, "Those
I
guys
was
are
in love, like puppy love. Jugábamos a la botellita allá en Reynosa. Saludos.
What is that?
And spin the bottle.
Oh,
Spin
Okay.
the bottle.
Hey, it was like the die. I
And
think
like
there
that
were
was
times
my
it was
first
dying.
heartbreak. But he was like él era el
Soft
prostíbulo
blow.
golfo de la colonia, le dio vuelta a la colonia, yo era la novia gringa que nada más iba en las vacaciones. Entonces, pues se encontró a una muchacha de 2 calles, la embarazó. Yo tenía 15, gracias a Dios que no fui yo, fue otra persona. Pero pues sí me lastimaron mi corazoncito.
A mí me pasó lo mismo right now that I'm telling you que yo me enamoraba. I remember now that I would go to Reynosa con mis primos, and then there was this girl in the corner, güey. I remember that. Y todos mis primos, "Hey, ya llegó mi primo el gringo. Ya llegó mi primo el gringo. And then and they were trying to hook me up with that girl from that corner, but then she got pregnant too. Damn, that's crazy.
Came up with the other girl in the other corner.
Pues no sé, pero el punto es que me rompieron, ese me rompió el corazón, pero era de amor así de...
So they left you basically.
De chiquitina, sí. Y ahí fue donde empezaron los issues de la manzanita de no soy suficiente. Y luego a los 18 años mi papá y mi mamá se divorciaron y mi papá me dejó y es de que, puta madre, realmente no soy suficiente. Y de ahí repetí patrones y chingo de desmadre. Luego les platico.
Wow.
Se pone padre el cotorreo. El libro ya lo estoy escribiendo, no se puede.
TikTok version.
Mente manzanita en su ciudad.
I know. Sarita inicia el book.
Ya voy a empezar mi tour, no se preocupe.
Well, I love
Traumas, mis chistes, mis traumas, mis chistes.
Ándele.
I love
Speaks of personal experience. Remember, the advices and everything, subconscious is because you're talking about your own personal
Yep.
experience.
so the fact
Person has an
I love the fact that you've been abandoned so many times.
I have.
It hasn't affected you. You are still who you are.
I mean, it did affect me. I mean, me
did.
golpearon, me patearon.
point is obviously she learned from it.
I learned from it. I didn't let it define me, and I've reinvented myself a lot of times. And every time, cada putazo me hizo más fuerte. Cada putazo me hizo más fuerte. Cada putazo me hizo más fuerte. Y ahorita, hablando de mi papá, le mando un saludo. Pero mira, hay una frase.
She's like,
I want to read this for you guys. It says, "My father taught me that commitment and love are not the same thing. If your own father can leave you, any man can, no matter how much he claims to love you." Todos lloren. ¡Lloren! ¡Ah!
Damn.
Supposed to turn that off.
To say that it's true where the man, the male, the dad sets the bar for the daughters, and the mom sets the bar for the sons.
Yes.
Because even though my parents were divorced, they got divorced when I was 12.
That's true.
They just to tell you that when I was a little older, my mom had a boyfriend, he had a girlfriend. We would make barbecues and they'd all be together. It was always like a co-parenting thing, and my dad never left. And you know what? I have to say that when I have been in relationships, maybe because I was younger and I was thinking, well, this is what I'm supposed to do, right? But I don't know. I would think of stuff, I would see stuff or go through stuff, and what would stop me and make me snap out of things was, would I put up with this? Would my dad make me go through this? No. Would my dad do to this? No. So then why am I letting another man do that if my dad doesn't?
And then over here, I'm
If
like,
my dad doesn't put a finger
my
on
dad
me,
wasn't
why would
even
I let-
around.
If my dad doesn't yell at me, why do I let another guy? If my dad, my
Yes.
own father,
Yes.
what makes you think I'm gonna allow another man to do that?
Yes.
The importance of a father figure
Here, you know.
Yes.
in family.
Father figures are very important for women
It is.
because we spoke about that.
Yeah.
It's called the Oedipus complex and it comes from a play from Shakespeare where a seer told, I forget what his name is, but the king basically said that his son was going to murder him. So what he did is his wife was pregnant, Oedipus, and he gave him to some old person and said, and gave him, and I forget the name of the play, but basically says, like, kill him. But this old lady didn't kill him, raised him. And so what ended up happening is that Oedipus falls in love with his mother, but they didn't know. And so the mother's older, he's definitely younger, so there is that piece. And so what he ends up doing is he ends up killing his father without knowing that was his father. So it's called the Oedipus complex. So they say that men marry their moms and women marry their dads. And I do believe that to an extent because my parents had a very good relationship, a very, very loving relationship. I'm not saying they didn't have problems because when I was in my relationship, when I was engaged, my mom did tell me some of those problems, but I never saw it. I was never privy to any of the stuff that they went through, any of the disagreements that they had, any of that stuff. I never saw it. What I saw was a father who was always there for me, a father who would go, when I was in drill team and he would go to the football games to see me, even when he had cancer and he was bald and he could barely move, like he was there for me. And when I broke up with my high school boyfriend, I broke up with him the day I buried my father. It was a very abusive relationship. And I told myself, if I can live my life without my dad, without the love of my father, I can live without your position.
I agree with you there.
I can live without no one. If I can live without the man who really loved me, and it was unconditional love, I can live without anybody.
And I feel like that is how you overcame your your heartbreak
with
and
all of my heartbreak. And they were not all heartbreaks because some of them I can say maybe it was an infatuation. Some of them were maybe there was some kind of love, but in love only once. I hope it does happen again, but up to now there hasn't been that person.
And that reminds me, like, I know you said that you're still going through that funk. I think I shared this with you that day. And for anybody watching, if you're going through a funk, whether it's they fired you from your job like they did to me, or somebody broke your heart like they did to me multiple times, girls from that I just met online and in other countries. And fuck. Listen, this is how I did it, and I know I shared it with you. Going back to what you were saying, like I know when I was going through that funk, I literally just sat down and I was like, what's worse than what I'm going through right now? Like, because I truly thought, like, dude, I wanted to be a teacher for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not good enough, and all those thoughts, right? And then what I thought was like, what's worse than this? And the only thought that came to my head was like my mom dying. And then I literally for 8 months was thinking every day, my mom's dead. Super extreme, by the way, guys. Don't recommend it to everybody, but every morning I was like, my mom dead.
She's not
Then
dead.
what? No, she's not dead, by the way. But that was like because and just based on what you were saying right now, I feel like that's how you really did it. Like, what's worse than like I'm not gonna tolerate this person doing this thing if I would not tolerate my dad. For me, it was like I can't let this thing break me because what's worse than this? There's something that I love more than this freaking job.
But
Or
I do,
these
I do
people-
feel like a lot of people thrive in chaos. Like they love
Yeah.
chaos, and that's what keeps them together.
I
Like
think
that
goes back
I
to
do find true.
that toxicity where people here do normalize toxica and toxico.
But some people love that shit.
No, yeah, I was about to say like people love that.
They love the jealousy.
If you don't believe it, watch the interviews from downtown.
But it's that, hey, but that's because they don't know. They don't
But
question themselves.
we are
What am I
preparing
living? What's going on?
our
Why
children
can't
to
I get
stay
off
here.
this
We're
roller
preparing them to
coaster?
Stay here. You need to.
No, it's not because I've been here all my life.
The
It's not.
dopamine effect.
It's not
It's
because
your
you stay here. It's because
right,
they
the
don't
ups and the
know.
downs, and then the up and then the down. And they
So
come up, and it's like,
I
And I done what you did.
just know that
with my.
I think they brought us
when someone is toxic to you, it's because they love you.
In the
El
valley.
vato.
In the
El
valley.
vato.
In the valley.
I have to say though that what you said earlier about when you lose your
At this
parents.
point, could have
El vato.
Joshua told me that when someone is toxic to you, it's because they love you.
No, when
I
someone
was
is
for 2
toxic
years
to you,
now.
it's because they don't know.
I was in a relationship for 4 years.
But I think they brought us something to try before we close the show.
Bring it on.
Yeah,
Here,
but I wanna
here
know
I'll,
my
let me
own-
get some.
I was in a relationship for 4 years before that. Not my son's father, right? But that relationship, I decided to finally take the leap and end it because I needed to because it was toxic, and I ended it. And a month and a half later, my dad passed, and then which was the hardest thing for me ever. So losing my dad, I always say like it's the hardest and it's the sad and everything, but it kind of helped me in a way because
Yes,
he gave me strength
my dad
to
gave me
stay
strength.
here because I'm not gonna lie, I was dealing with ending that and getting used to everything and accepting things, coming to terms with things that truths came out later. And at the same time, when I was getting like that, I was like, hey, wait, what am I doing? The only man that I wish I could have here for half of a second is my father.
Yeah,
And nothing is gonna bring him back.
Yes.
So screw that.
yeah.
The only
there
men
is
that
it.
matter
That's-
are my
that's how
dad,
it
my
is.
son, and my brothers, right? So it's like, and it gave me strength. Every time I was talking myself into, right? Your mind goes off on a limb,
Yes.
right? One bad feed, you feed it, and it goes off. So I was like, hey, what would ground me back was my dad.
Yes, my
I-
dad's who
I feel like
my dad.
we all
Because I
connect
do
there.
say that I'm like, would my
Mhm.
knowing the kind of father he was and the love he gave me, I'm like, would my dad really want his daughter to go through this?
But let me ask you, does it make it difficult for you? Because I think now I never realized, maybe I did it back then and I didn't realize, but now I think I'm pretty aware of it and I catch myself and I'm like, do I subconsciously compare men to my
I
dad?
do.
Because I'm like,
Oh yeah,
my dad would
I
do
do.
better than that.
Yes.
My dad would whatever. No,
Yes.
next. And I'm like,
Well-
well, there's nobody gonna be exactly like my dad. So I guess
Yeah,
I'm always gonna be
there
alone.
was- there was- A relationship.
Yo no soy tu papá, mija. Yo no soy tu papá, eh.
well, it could be.
And then they were gonna be,
That
I'm
could-
not your mom either. You fuck.
But
Pues
it's
qué onda, bro?
Call me daddy.
I'm from Ghana. Are you from Ghana? I'm from Ghana.
right.
from las milpas.
A
No,
father.
I'm not looking for.
I'm looking for the
someone
kind
who,
of love that my father gave to my mother,
Exactly.
which is very different. My parents would literally dance in the living room, and my dad would sing.
Eso es lo que también pasa. Mi familia, mis papás también tuvieron una relación bonita. Cuando tú tienes a tu papá en un pedestal, que fue lo que me pasó a mí, y no voy a llorar, ¿ok? No voy a llorar, ya lo
Mira,
dije.
mira,
Cuando tú lo miras, dices tú,
I
no,
love that
dices tú, cállate, no mames, cabrón, no, güey.
penetration.
Okay.
Love.
Entonces,
Love.
cuando tú miras eso y cuando se te cae del pedestal, es feo. Ya después con las relaciones futuras,
Mira, quieren
ya no
repeat it.
sabes.
Let's try some.
Ya no voy a decir nada.
Where's the ranch?
Oh my god.
Hey, no, I want to keep on talking, but like this smells so good. Go for it. Hey.
Fried
Did
food.
anybody
That's why.
bring the fat? What is it called? The
Oh,
fat
la
release?
Fat release, not right now.
Do you
but
have
I-
it?
I need the ranch in this.
I have fat release in my truck.
But that's what you assume that your parents had like the perfect marriage, and no
No,
marriage.
it wasn't.
So-
It was.
I
It
know
definitely wasn't.
Didn't. I'm not gonna lie. Yes, they right, but they did it. They were together since they were
My
16.
parents were together.
Right?
Yes, my
So
mom
they
was 16.
because in our culture, that's what I'm saying. I grew up. Hey, there's cheese on. I don't know I don't know how that looks, but disregard that.
Spraying people.
Stop spraying people.
Keep the cheese to yourself.
But
So,
what it was is my relationship with my mom was good. My relationship with my dad was good.
Mhm.
And when they were around us, they would try to co-parent for us. You know what I mean? So that helped. Because my dad would put me on his feet when I was a kid and show me how to dance.
He's like
My
something
mom
wrong
and
with
my
it,
dad,
doesn't
even
want
if
to
they were
grab it.
divorced, they would send me flowers to school separately.
Yes.
When I was working before Jeremiah and going to college, they would send me stuff for Valentine's separately. They were just like that.
Say, grab that
So I got it from both of them regardless. You know what I mean?
Yes. I got.
But I'm not gonna lie. That does set a standard for you that's a little here and it's like, but you shouldn't bring it down regardless.
But I'm not gonna bring it down. Like
I'm
it's
not gonna bring it down
problem.
either.
Like how
I
I
did
see
it
is,
once and I
like,
will never do it again.
Yeah, like the way I see it is, it's not my problem that you're not man enough.
is it good, Delia?
Like that's your problem. That's not mine. Like I didn't raise you.
Yeah, these are good.
Do you guys recommend the samplers from WingsRings Texas 83?
The conversations are dope because I can connect in so
But
many
he's
ways.
hungry.
No, I'm not even hungry. This is so good. Dude, no, go for it. This
The fried pickles are like the main
Hey,
shit.
pa mi raza que es de Palmview, porque I know that Palmview got a new Buffalo Wings and Rings. Hey, jálense pa' acá, compa.
Yeah, you can't forget about Peñitas. You need to come to Peñitas.
En la Tom Gill. Gill como el tiburón. Gill. Aquí las de los Gills, ¿verdad? ¿Se llama o no?
Is that what that is?
Absolutely. So
Me
to close the
encantó.
show, Myra, you've already been heartbroken once. Were you able to love again
Several times.
since then?
Yes, but I feel like I was older. One is puppy love, right?
Yes.
Another one,
was high
you're a little bit older and you're thinking, well, this is what for me personally, is what I'm supposed to do in life. Get married, have a kid, whatever. You outgrow it. And as you're getting older, I don't know, it's a different kind of love, right? You're a
Yeah.
little more in tune with yourself.
It's because
You're-
you have self love, and when
You
you have
learn
self love,
self-love.
you can love.
Hey,
One
I heard that there's
relationship
3
taught me
levels of
self-love.
love.
What are the three levels?
say?
3 levels. Like the first one, the puppy, then the second one.
Puppy, and then the second one.
And then I heard that the third one is the one that just arrives because you're becoming a
Yes.
high frequency
Well,
person
the one-
and you
the third
attract
one
it.
taught
And
me
you attract
self-love.
some wings.
Right? I think I put my bar down.
Tu vieja no
And I was
quiere
like,
flores
well,
el 14 de
maybe
febrero.
I'm
Quiere que la
being
traigas
too,
aquí.
right? Expecting too much. Maybe I'll lower it for never again. No.
No, I don't think.
If I put somebody on a pedestal, I'm putting you down and getting myself back on. And if you want to meet me, you got to meet me up there.
That's true. That's true.
Because I know what I give. I know what I have. I know it's authentic. I know I give up. And I give it from my heart. But that's why my dad would always teach me, sobre todo guarda tu corazón. And I never understood it. I think I was like, yeah, okay, dad, whatever, right?
As
And he
every
would
kid.
always say, sobre todo guarda tu corazón, porque de allí sale la vida. And now that he left, I was going through that, and I finally learned all these things. And I'm like, now that I learned a lot of the things he would teach me, he's not here for me to tell him anymore.
He was leaving you the wisdom.
But he left me the wisdom.
You left your
And it
wisdom.
honestly, yeah, and it helped me grow. That relationship helped me grow in a hard way. My dad helped me grow. I feel like now I'm becoming the person I guess I'm supposed to, right?
The person who taught me self love was not a love connection. He wasn't I don't even know how to explain it. But it being in that relationship with, oh my god, there was just a lot of conflict. We just did not get along. And he tried and tried and tried, and I kept on telling him, we don't get along. Like we don't belong together. And like we just didn't belong together. There was just a lot. And that's when I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing with myself? What am I doing in this life? Why am I expecting a person who I didn't even find attractive to be in a relationship with for what? Like, I know why. This was during the time my mom had passed away, and my sister had told me, like, yeah, like stop traveling the world, stop living a life, like haz tus raíces, like move back home, do like all of these things. And I tried with this person. I'm like, okay, let me stay in the valley. Let me try this relationship. This guy is my age because I would either date older or I would date younger. Like I never dated someone my age. So I was like, well, he's my age. He's
Why is that?
See, and I've never dated younger. I've
Why
always
is
dated
that?
older.
Why is what?
I know a lot of
I
girls
should
who
get younger.
who,
I've never
who
dated
do that.
younger.
They never like. I know a lot of like the girls at my age. None of them age.
I don't know. The older men for me were just wiser and they were smart. So it was just
And the young ones, you can mold them.
no, the
Go
no,
like with that one.
no, there was no
Do the
molding,
roar.
there was no manipulation, and I don't know, I don't know what that generation was. But the one young guy that I can think of, because the other ones were maybe like 2 years younger, 5 years younger, but this age gap between this one guy was a 12-year age gap. I mean, that's a significant age gap.
Yes, it is.
Sure.
Mind you, I wasn't in my 40s, I was in my late 30s, so I looked different. It was just a different time. But he
Estás
was not.
hermosa.
I think you want something like you. I love
You know, I think
Manzanita to the rescue.
is that once you wake up and you start healing and you start looking at all these things, you're so, like they say, you're so woke that you see them. And at one point, obviously, yeah, you're like, what's wrong with me? Am I not enough? Am I not this? Am I not that? Right? No self love because they brought your self esteem down. But once you're so awake to things and you're healing, you finally see it and you're like, it has nothing to do with me. It has to do with
Yeah,
them.
it has to do with
Because then
them.
you see them and they jump from one to another to another to another. And it's like, that's what my dad would always say, the brave fly solo. Learn to love yourself. Learn to be well in your own company. Because once you're okay with yourself, you'll know if you're with somebody because you
Yeah.
love them also or because you feel lonely.
Because you love the attention from someone. When you
Yeah.
don't love yourself, you love the attention they're giving. you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when
Most people are full of shit too.
But also, it's what you do with that.
Oh, no, but most people are full of shit.
No, it depends.
But my dad would always say, can't bullshit a bullshitter.
What
Yeah,
tell
but
me that-
look,
what-
it also
what-
depends on what.
Hi, my name is Edgar.
father-
And I'm full of shit.
And I'm full of shit.
It also
what
depends.
my father said, but
I
it's
need a
just
wipey
sex.
'cause I can
It's
smell
just
it.
To your relationship, he was right. Like in his eyes, he's like, you're not gonna have sex until you get married. And I'm like, of course, yes, I will do that for you.
Oh my god.
But what he said is like, all I need you to remember is that every time you have sex with someone, you're giving a piece of yourself to that
Yes.
person.
You're giving your
So
spirit.
make sure
Yes.
that that person deserves that piece of you.
Mhm.
If not, don't do it.
Hey, have you guys ever had sex and you just like you're just there moving?
Yeah.
My dad was so spiritual,
Okay, off topic.
not religious. He was more spiritual. So he
Yeah.
would always say, hey, cuidado con quien te metes, porque no te estás metiendo con la carne y hueso. Si eso te
Yeah.
atrae,
Eso es
pero te
espíritu.
estás metiendo
Plus,
con
all the people
espíritu,
they
tú sabes
slept
qué
with.
demonios
No,
traen.
y no nada más con él, con las que estuvieron con él. Eso es peor todavía,
of
porque
those
no sabes qué,
bodies
qué está entrando a tu cuerpo.
But he would say that for our house too. So we're very like that with.
That's how my friend got hurt.
My husband's like
And
that.
it-
My husband's
that's
like
hard.
that. My husband's very, don't let
my
anybody
friend
in
got
the
hurt.
house.
He's like that in gonorrhea.
El vato. Pinche show, güey, te
Did-
pasas de
Did you
lanza.
know that the United States sent $50 million to another country to buy
Por
condoms
condones, está bien,
Wow.
hagan lo que quieran.
for protection?
Está bien.
I said last show, I said, don't wear condoms. Get abortion.
That's how they wouldn't
Pero
have
es
gotten gonorrhea.
Vamos a hablar de otra cosa.
Hey, by the way, if you
It has to do with
if you need condoms,
self-care.
there. No, if you need condoms for tomorrow, and you can't afford them, or you're lazy to go. There's down the block by the business on the Oak on Conway. There's a Planned Parenthood. I'm not sure if it's Planned Parenthood, but there's a building. How do I know this? Because a client came in. And like, oh, they're getting Plan Bs for
Because I
free.
visited every day.
He's like, I think
No, I actually went after
Plan
them.
Bs for free.
Yeah, they get
get
super person
beads?
and you get condoms. So if you're on Conway, shoot.
Dude,
I don't-
Plan Bs are not pills that you're supposed to be popping every day.
No,
If
but-
you're doing that, don't. No son
You take it every day. Like you feed it to the punch. Like you just fucking pop it in the morning. Whether you got fucked or not, you just like pop it in.
Era hermana de mi papá, pero pues ellos eran de Reynosa, son de mi, pero güeros, right? Pero mi tía.
Hey, I know.
Ya-
I have friends who are white from Reynosa.
Ya
What's up?
falleció mi tía en paz descanse, pero siempre decía, hey, ¿qué le he dicho? Abra los ojos y cierre las piernas. No me va a salir con su domingo siente igual que su prima Maggie. My cousin was like 21, 22.
Bien
in college,
quemada la Maggie.
and it
Saludos.
was all about it. And she came out pregnant. But she was
Shout out to Maggie. You came out pregnant at what?
So she was 22 already. She was older.
22.
She was in,
Era
like,
the
in high
Swiftie.
school. But I
Era una
think I was like
Swiftie.
13 or so. So my aunt ever since then was like, hey, what do I tell you? Open your eyes. One day she asked me, she would just ask me all the time. ¿Qué le he dicho yo? Cierra los ojos y abre las piernas. No, le dije que abre los ojos y cierra las piernas.
Don't open your legs because you're gonna end up like this, darling.
Like Maggie.
Hey,
Like
listen.
Maggie. You will be where Maggie was.
This is Maggie.
I
You
don't-
want me.
Don't be like Maggie.
Don't be.
Hashtag don't be like
In
Maggie.
college, not in high school.
Oh,
right?
if you're in college, then you're gonna end up like this.
Oh my God.
Don't-
That is a wide set vagina.
Somebody.
I hope that everybody has
I need the
an
best-
amazing Valentine's Day. Please make sure you give your significant other something. If you don't give them something, they will hold it against you. And next year, you will not have
You need
them
to have-
right next to you. So
Buddy,
please, please, please
t-shirt
No, no,
that's
give them something.
young and fun.
Don't cheat on them. If you cheated on them, don't tell them tomorrow. Tell them later.
Academical
And if you haven't broken someone's heart, please do so this weekend, okay?